So, Power Rangers Super Mega Force has been out for more than a month now, and I thought it'd be a great time to go ahead and give my first impressions. Not only that, but let's go ahead and take it a step further and compare it to the Japanese version of the said show, which is called Kaizoku Sentai Gokaiger. Which one is the best? Well, since I have actually just started watching both series, I figured I'd give my impressions on it. So let's get that started right now. Alright now, so if we're going to talk about the show, the best place to start is the beginning. The introduction, if you will. After all, it's the introduction that gets you psyched to go ahead and watch the oncoming show, right? So this particular introduction, the music comes from basically a group called Project R, who now goes ahead and does pretty much, so far, all of the actual introductions from the current one to Gokaiger. Now, Gokaiger, by the way, was the Japanese version of Power Rangers RPM. Maybe I shouldn't say Japanese version, as I will just say for now counterpart. But nonetheless, this is actually a pretty interesting song here. It gives a nice little introduction to the characters, as it doesn't give any names per se, but then it allows you to go ahead and kind of leaves the mystery happening, especially with this part right here, where they go ahead and see all of the Rangers costumes all together, but they really don't tell you exactly what's going on, as in most of the time they only are in their pirate forms, or their Gokaiger forms, should I say. But nonetheless, it's still a very fun introduction to go ahead and check out. And it also allows you to go ahead and see a couple of other things too, including the mechs or the mechas, or the Megazords, whatever I'm going to call them. I call them mechs, but whatever. Nonetheless, though, Project R did a very good job at this particular intro here. Kind of gives you that sense of adventure, as is known for these kind of shows here. Especially one where traveling is the adventure when it comes down to pirates. That being said, let's go ahead and talk about Super MegaForce introduction. Now, it has the same exact song that was in the original MegaForce one. However, it just kind of gives you a kind of a different look here. I like the running on the beach part, by the way. Aside from that, it also gives you a quick introduction, audio introduction of the actual characters who are actually playing in there, as it usually does with, I think it did this before, with Samurai or Super Samurai. But it also goes ahead and gives kind of a, a look as they're transforming into different people. So, to me personally, it's like this introduction actually gives more love to the show, as well as gives you more information to the show. I shouldn't say love, that's a wrong choice of words. More so, it gives more introduction, more information towards the show, gives you an eyeful of everything that could be happening in this whole entire show, especially this part. So I gotta give it to the US introduction. I think it did a little bit better, but slightly. Now, let me address something really fast here. Some people may think that just because I chose Super MegaForce theme song over the Gokaiger theme song, you may think that I'm doing it out of nostalgia. After all, the MegaForce theme song is actually nothing more than a remixed version of the Super Samurai theme song, or the Samurai theme song, which is also a remixed version of the original Go-Go Power Rangers theme from the original Mighty Morphin. However, that's actually not true. This is actually footage from Zoranger, or Zoo Ranger. And the thing is that I actually like Zoo Ranger's theme song better than Mighty Morphin Power Rangers theme song. For those who know, Zoo Ranger is actually the Japanese counterpart to Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, as you can plainly see right now. Now, while the visual introductions need to be desired, after all, this was actually created, in I think it was 1995, perhaps. Nope, 1992, actually. I believe. But anyway, no matter how you look at it, though, I actually like the theme song to this one over the other one. Aside from that, the introduction to Samurai Sentai Gokaiger is actually vastly more superior than that of Goku Power Rangers or anything else except for Go Busters, which Go Busters is better than all of them. Now, I'm going to go into Go Busters some other time. This is not the place to go into that one. For those who don't know, Samurai Sentai Gokaiger is the samurai, what is it called? Power Ranger Samurai equivalent. And even equivalent might not be the right words because, in my opinion, let's not get into that review. Let's get in that review another time. And anyway, though, I just wanted to go ahead and talk about that really fast. Let's go ahead and continue on with the review. Alright, so let's talk about Super MegaForce. And this particular first episode is called Super MegaForce. After all, you gotta tell everyone what they're watching, right? And what else says tell them what they're watching than the first episode being named exactly what the show is named? That's never been done before. Anyway, here's the thing. So it looks like the invasion has gone ahead and taken place. If you guys remember the original MegaForce at the end, they talked about how, hey, guess what? I know you guys were working very hard this season, but guess what? You're screwed. We're invading anyway. So apparently, all these things were, this invasion is now taking place, and they've done as much damage as a bunch of school kids have done when they just don't have any parents around. So basically what happens is that, the Rangers go ahead and hide in different buildings for some reason, and they go ahead and take out some of the troops that so happen to be around the area, and to go ahead and rescue anyone and everyone who can use rescuing. So sounds pretty good, right? Hey, don't shoot him! Don't shoot! Don't shoot! Oh, no, she pointed a gun first to the Mexican guy. Ah, you racist. So basically, the Power Rangers went back to their command center, or command cave, or whatever it is, and they went ahead and talked about how the invasion guys pretty much beat them up and took their lunch money. So, after with all that being said, there's a couple of things that just did not make any sense. And by not making any sense, let's go ahead and listen to this particular part right here.
This new enemy because of your fighting spirit. It is finally time for you to tap into the infinite power that lines the walls of this command center. These will be your new morphers. With these and your new Ranger keys, you will be able to unlock your Super MegaForce mode.
A mode even stronger than Ultra mode. Incredible.
Now, what's really incredible is that you're buying this crap. Think about it for a second. Hey, I'm Gosai, a Zordon wannabe. And despite the fact that I just gave you powers basically one season ago and then powers on top of that, I'm going to get you these better powers, which pretty much dwarfs the original powers, which you could have used to go ahead and actually fight the invasion, but whatever. Speaking of which, I want to go ahead and point this thing out here, which is actually kind of funny.
Prize. Am I the only one who notices that my key is the wrong color?
Jake, there's a simple explanation for that.
That's awesome. It's the old, hey, I got an explanation, but no time for that now because all of a sudden a scripted event just happened. Sorry. I always get a kick out of those particular jokes there. It's an old joke, but it's always an old favorite. So the Rangers go ahead and they go meet the bad guys, and basically you know what time it is now? That's right. It's time to show off the new toys that you can go ahead and buy now at Toys R Us. Promotion mode, engage. And you know what that means. New morph means new outfits, so show off the new outfits, and let's go ahead and fight by using weapons gracefully and masterfully, despite the fact that we have had no previous training using them whatsoever. And that's always, besides that though, this is the one thing that always bothered me about these shows here. It's like when they go ahead and try to, kind of add two different Super Sentai things together, it seems to not really work out that well in certain people's eyes, such as myself. Let me give you an example. I remember back in the day when Mighty Morphin ended and Zeo began, I distinctly known like there was a huge difference in the martial arts styles. The same thing here. When they fight in their MegaForce outfits, it's a different martial arts styles, and as soon as they go ahead and transform into their, we'll call it Super MegaForce powers, Gokaiger. Basically, what happens is that the whole thing changes dramatically. As you see right here, moves that they were not doing, and the way they're doing it is totally different, like that. It's just, I don't know. It kind of takes you out. That was funny. Sorry, but it kind of takes you out of reality of the whole situation here. It's something I just never liked about it. I have no idea why these people persist on doing this. You should have just went ahead and just left it be by just going ahead and just changing up what do you call it? The cast. And here's another thing that kind of bothers me too. I don't really understand between the story arc with the human versions, versus the way the actual Power Rangers, we'll call that, is talking. For example, we'll talk about this. Blue Ranger and Noah. Let's put it that way. For those who don't know, it's the Blue Ranger. He's the black guy. Okay, so here's the thing right now. How is it the fact that Noah is this guy who has had very little martial arts training, and all of a sudden, he's a master swordsman when doing this one? And the same thing with the, I don't know his name, but the guy who's the Green Ranger. The Green Ranger should be a better fighter than that of the Blue Ranger. And therefore, what I'm getting at is this. It would have made a lot more sense for to make Noah the Green Ranger, and to make the guy who's the Green Ranger, to make him the Blue Ranger. That would have made more sense, but of course not, because they wanted to try their best to kind of keep it in whatever they're doing, and to me, it just doesn't make any sense. Now, maybe I'm overthinking it. That's a definite possibility. But I gotta say, yeah. So, of course, now it's time to go ahead and show off the new toys. So let's show the new toys off right now. And there you go. So once again, these guys are able to go ahead and fight like samurai, despite having no samurai training whatsoever. And incidentally, a great way for some of the producers to go ahead and sell old toys that they haven't used in a while, especially since these are not that old, and the kids who are watching Power Rangers probably still remember some of these things out here. Hey, notice how the blue guy is actually doesn't have the skirt. And I'm just saying, that's just kind of cool, because the girl Power Rangers usually wear the skirt, but in this one, the yellow Power Ranger, who originally was a guy in Power Rangers Magic Ranger or Mystic Force, actually was a guy. Now it's wearing a skirt. You get the idea. I'm just saying. Anyway, so long story short, there's really nothing else to say about it here. Once you get to this part here, it gets to that. It gets to the fighting scene. They do this, where they go ahead and take the bad guy out, and then they call it a day. However, you can't really call it a day unless you got the Megazords, right? Because after all, it's not just that, but the Megazords. But here, let me show you something real quick about this final attack here. So I gotta admit, it's really hard to actually watch that without missing my final wave sound effect. But what are we talking about? We're going to talk about that in a minute here. So long story short, as do with typical bad guys from Power Rangers, once the enemy is defeated, there's always a contingency plan, and that's to go ahead and make my monster grow.
That'll be Gosei.
Rangers, you can see the aliens have new capabilities, but you have some too. Along with your new powers come new zords and a special skyship. Summon them!
Thanks. We're on.
Well, thanks, Gosei. Despite the fact that now you have once again decided not to go ahead and give us information when we could have used it. Right? We're in the heat of battle, like, oh yes, by the way, I do have new zords for you. I'm just saying, bro, you could have told them prior to going ahead and fighting a whole bunch of monsters in the middle of, where are we at, by the way? Angel Grove again? Or are we at some other place? It doesn't matter. Here's the thing. Despite that, though, despite all the things I'm saying, it's actually not that bad of a show. Even Power Rangers, despite the fact that I'm just kind of making fun of it right now, I actually do enjoy it a lot. Nonetheless, though, no matter if you're watching it in Japan or America, you're watching it in English or Japanese, this Megazord right here is fantastic to watch it come together. And there you go, the creation of the legendary Megazord, which I like to call 4995. Now, nonetheless, though, it is a fun adventure here to go ahead and watch it, even in the American versions here. Now, granted, did a lot of things that they kind of changed the names of certain things here, and of course, a lot of things happen kind of chopped up. By chopped up, of course, a lot of people my age might remember the original Dragon Ball Z, how they went ahead and literally chopped up Dragon Ball Z to the point where it was unrecognizable to people who actually watched the actual Japanese version like myself. Basically what they've done here is they went ahead and added pretty much like 2 episodes built into 1 episode. So that's exactly what this is. If you may have noticed from the beginning, the monster that was killed versus the monster that grew might have been different, but it is what it is. Nonetheless, though, I gotta say, no matter, it was still fun to watch. But nonetheless, let's go ahead and get into Gokaiger now. Now, before we get into Kaizoku Sentai Gokaiger, let's go ahead and talk about a little similarity that I kind of noticed. Now, this is not a dig by any means, but nonetheless, it is kind of funny. Now, basically, Gokaiger is about pirates. That's what the Kaizoku in Kaizoku Sentai Gokaiger means, pirates. However, there is another pirate anime out there called One Piece, and I kind of noticed a big similarity between the two. One of which is the red-wearing leader who just so happens to be extra cocky, who can fight pretty damn well. Followed by his first mate, who just so happens to be a really, really good sword fighter. And the female who apparently likes gold and money way too much. Now, I ain't saying she's a gold digger. Well, actually, yes, I am. I really am saying that. Gold digger. Then you have the guy who, for some reason, continues to survive every episode, despite the fact that this guy should have been killed a long time ago, because he does not have the correct physical credentials in order to go ahead and survive a lifestyle as pirating. And last but not least, we have the wild card. The wild card is basically someone who is part of the team who is less of a pirate than the previous mentioned person. Now, sometimes this person can be a temporary sister, or they could actually be, someone who just is all there all along. And usually it's some form of princess or ex-princess. And yes, I'm very much aware that the whole Princess Vivi thing is a bit of a stretch, but I mean, technically, okay, Monkey D. Luffy did in fact make her an official member of the Straw Hat Pirates. So it is what it is, okay? If you don't want to agree with that last part, I can understand that though. Alright, so now we're going to talk about Gokaiger, which is basically, this whole entire video I've been mispronouncing it. It's Gokaiger, not Gokaiger. Sorry about that. I was looking at Ranger and you get the idea. But anyway, Gokaiger pretty much does the same exact thing with the same exact bad guys, except for in this one, the invasion already took place. The thing was that the invasion was already set back by the original 34. The original 34 Super Sentai. For the record, Super Sentai is the equivalent of Power Rangers. So the Super Sentai actually went ahead and fought back the invasion, which actually took place, which is the part that I was talking about. This actually makes sense. Of course, I know a lot of you is not going to know some of these guys, but it is what it is. So this became labeled as the Legendary War, where a whole war, only one large battle took place in a small area, but whatever. Real legendary, right? But then again, I guess a lot of the legendary battles we have in real life actually took place in a small area as well, so maybe I'm just picking. But anyway, long story short, with all the 34 teams actually fighting to go ahead and save them, you may look some may look familiar to some Power Rangers fans. There's let's see right there, we got Power Rangers Turbo right there. We got the two ninjas, which alien to us. A whole bunch of different things here. We have, let's see, ninjas. We have the aliens. We have some that won't even know, but we get the idea. Long story short, though, yeah. In order to go ahead and save everyone, they had to go ahead and give up their powers into one shot. This power would go ahead and take out all of the enemy forces at one hit. So the thing is that in response to that, they would actually lose their powers. Now, the thing was that when they did this attack here, the powers would actually go ahead and manifest themselves into different objects, thanks to Aka Ranger, or rather Aka Red, which that's another thing that the other show was actually missing. Well, you know, it's kind of a, I don't know, because the whole Aka Red thing is an interesting situation there. But nonetheless, after time has passed, pretty much, there's a new set of people out there who actually have gained these keys. Now, these keys are pretty much what the powers have manifest themselves into. And now, by using these keys, they can go ahead and enhance themselves with the powers of said Rangers, you know. So that's pretty much how everything works out. Now, here's the part where I really like about Gokaiger here. It's because of the fact that the actual, how to put this, they're not good guys. By no means are they actually heroes. The only reason why they get locked into battle with the people who are attacking the Earth is because the people who attack the Earth attacked them first. So they just fought back. Aside from that, there's other examples too that it's like basically the only reason why they would actually go after the people was because they was either doing something that just wasn't cool in their eyes, or is the fact that they, you know, it just so happened to be in the right spot at the right time. Of course, we know that's scripted, but I'm just saying. And that's the thing about this. Technically speaking, look, by the way, this is actually, this is the first episode, by the way, and this is the other, you know, the Megazord that we saw, which is the Legendary Megazord. Here it's called Gokaiger, I believe it's pronounced. And, yeah, so pretty good for, you know, pretty good movement for a machine that only thing it has is a rotor that turns either left or right, I'm just saying. But nonetheless, it's a really fun thing to watch here. This is it's a really interesting show here. But anyway, so they only came to Earth, by the way. For one, they're aliens, by the way. So the only reason why they came to Earth was for one and one thing only, and that, my friends, is to go ahead and find the greatest treasure on the Earth. So they wanted to find, the greatest treasure in the universe is what they were looking for, kind of like the One Piece. So you get what I'm saying, right? So anyway, they decide to go ahead and land on Earth, where they proceed to go ahead and question the actual inhabitants of this, you know, weird and remote planet to find out about the thing. So let's listen.
邪魔するぜ地球人ども。俺たちは海賊戦隊ゴーカイジャー。俺はキャプテンマーベラスだ。海賊だって。この星には宇宙最大のお宝があるよな。おとなしくありか教えな。
隠すとためになんないよ。
ダメですよルカさん、そんな。
ごきげんよう皆さん。ではそこの庶民の方。はい、あなたです。
はい。
何かご存知ありませんか？
は、何も存じ上げません。
噂もお聞きになったことありませんか？
は、申し訳ありませんが、地球上で知る者はいないかと。ね。
あらまあ。
So, seeing as their search came up empty, the pirates decided that it might be best to go get something to eat, which I guess does make sense. So what they did was they actually decided to go ahead and sell one of Luca's rings. By the way, Luca is the girl in the white right there. And they went ahead and decided to go to a curry restaurant where they can go ahead and, well, get something to eat. And what sets them off on their grandest adventure of all is this situation right here.
ですよ。いただきましょう。
いただきます。おい、カレーはどうなる？いいです。どう考えても。マジか。そんなことよりあれ。
あれは残虐宇宙艦隊の機関ギガントフォース。さっきやっつけたのはただの先遣隊だったんだ。どういうこと？あれが来たってことは奴ら本気でこの星を征服する気だよ。
よそでやんなさいよ。
どうしよう、宝探しなんかしてる場合じゃ。とりあえず戻るか。了解があるように。
So, with their curry dinner officially ruined, they decide to go ahead and return back to the galleon. That's the sky ship, by the way. Only for our protagonist pirates to partake in something that was, in their eyes, of course, seemed pretty pathetic indeed.
どうした？
誰一人見逃しはしない。
子供たちだけは。
行かないの？
気の毒だけど、この星に明日はもうないかもね。
そして帝国の領域の一部となるか。
私たちのふるさとと同じように。
いい顔だ。ゾクゾクするぜ。もっと怯えてみせる。
気に入らねえな。
素敵な顔ありがとう。誰だ。
And this is the part that I was talking about. It's not the fact that these guys were heroes to begin with, looking for anyone who was trouble, but while the Earth was being invaded, they decided to go ahead and enjoy some curry, only for them to go ahead and get their curry ruined, and then all of a sudden, this happened. So pretty much if their curry didn't get ruined, they would have never saw the kids, and they would have never went ahead and decided to go ahead and help them. So with that being said, it's of course time to go ahead and show off the new toys, or I don't know, what's the equivalent to Toys R Us in Japan? Toys R Us? I don't know. Anyway, let's go watch these toys in action. It's morphin' time, guys.
ぶっ潰せ。それが海賊ってもんだろ。
豪快電池。豪快レッド。
豪快ブルー。
豪快イエロー。
豪快グリーン。
豪快ピンク。
海賊戦隊豪快じゃ。
So on this note, I would like to give a very strong thank you to whichever race or person created curry. Because now a whole bunch of Japanese children will be saved because of the fact that these guys just want to throw a temper tantrum based on the fact that, you know, their curry was destroyed. But anyway, so now as you see this woman here, she's officially announcing them as the 35th Super Sentai. That's actually not right. These guys actually don't even know who Super Sentai are. They just know about the treasure, and they know that they wanted to go ahead and finish collecting the treasure, and they came to this planet to get the greatest treasure in the universe, or galaxy, or whatever. Now, as a lot of you already seen here, this part is already stock footage as now, but you actually see a lot of similarities between the original episode of Power Rangers, Super MegaForce, and this one here. So, especially here, remember this one where he flips off there and he hangs on the wire? Yeah, see? Nonetheless, though, it is what it is. And I actually do enjoy this a lot here. I gotta say, without a shadow of a doubt, that, you know, each individual has its own flavor. But, of course, in terms of which one I like the best, there can be only one. But, Sorry, I always get kick out of that. But with all this said and done, one particular part really excites me when I'm watching this particular episode, and that's when they're doing their final attack. Because when they do their final attack, they come out and say, yeah, I don't know who's doing those the voices of that final way for that junk. Is hilarious. Of course, they end the bad guy. That guy grows into a big guy. They take him out, blah, blah, blah. It's how Power Rangers go. And that's pretty much it. Now, of course, I'm just having fun, poking funs at different things and all that nature here, but it's not that hard to go ahead and choose Gokaiger over Super MegaForce, and it's not because it's Japanese or, anything like that. To be perfectly honest with you, Kaizoku Sentai Gokaiger is basically a staple, and it was treated as such. It was a 35 years of Super Sentai, and that's how they treated it, and it got all the love. If you actually go out there and do a search for it, you will notice that there's a lot of people out there who really love this franchise. And not just the franchise, but this particular season in general. Me personally, this has got to be one of the best seasons of Super Sentai. And while I will admit I haven't seen all the Super Sentai just yet, I will say that this is definitely one that I'm absolutely loving. I mean, hey, it's got, I think, 6 or 7 movies right now. I think 6 movies, 1 directed DVD, and of course the 35 or 36 episodes that is the actual show itself. I mean, versus Super MegaForce, which is pretty much, keep in mind, it is the 20th year of Power Rangers, so they could have did something special with it. They could have made it something different. They chose not to. They chose just to go ahead and gimp on the storyline, things of that nature. And the last but not least, the part that I really, really, really like about Gokaiger is the fact that when it came to Super MegaForce, they were chosen to go ahead and defend the planet, okay? That's what it was. They were chosen to go ahead and do this. In Gokaiger, they weren't chosen. They chose to defend the planet. They didn't even know what Super Sentai was in the beginning. They didn't know what it was, and yet in the end, they chose the planet. I think that says a bigger message to people than you have to be chosen in order to do something good. Rather, you can make the choice to do something good yourself. For some reason, I feel that makes a bigger statement than anything else. And that's just my opinion, but hey, this whole thing is my opinion. And so let me know what you guys think. Maybe you've never seen both of them. Maybe you're liking Power Rangers over what you saw over Gokaiger. Let me know in the comment section below. I would like to know your opinion on this, if you have one. You guys have a good night. Zeph out.
いいことすると気持ちがいいわ。